So, the rise of the lonely black man, and I'm watching women celebrate this. Now, this is happening because men have been fed this alpha male stuff that is starting to backfire.
Men do not value platonic relationships with women, and they barely value platonic relationships with men, which is another reason why there is a male loneliness epidemic. Men aren't lonely, they're sexually ungratified. Because when men say they're lonely, they're not referring to friendships, they're referring to relationships with women, sexual relationships with women.
Let's talk about the male loneliness epidemic. Most of us are probably pretty familiar with some of the research done talking about how difficult and how deleterious it is to be lonely. One study done in 2021 actually found that 15% of men reported that they had no close friends. And in 2022, a study found that 20% of men said that they have no one to rely on for close emotional support.
There is an epidemic of male loneliness, and honey, I am living for every second of it. Not because I hate men or anything like that, but I honestly believe that it is about due time. I have been saying this for months and months and months. Honey, the men that are lonely and can't find no one to take advantage of, honey, it's because they are paying for their forefathers. They are. They are paying for the sins of their uncles, their daddies, all of them. The ones that had the extra family. You know, when we didn't have cell phones and the internet, when it was easy to have and easy to afford an extra family, that's what they're paying for.
I did not know that male loneliness or singleness was being weaponized against black men. And I had never even paid attention to the conversation because I was like, where did they do a study that specifically targeted black men and asking if they were lonely and single? Because I've seen the collage of black women going out there saying, yeah, man, all these black men are single. So you know me, I don't take things for face value. I did the research for myself, and I actually put together a little bit of a picture, 2 pictures to show you guys what I found. And I don't know if anybody's ever did the research to look at this male loneliness epidemic that people are running around here weaponizing against black men. This is what they're citing, okay, guys? So it's from the Medium as an article published on December 5th, 2024. It was actually updated from a previous article from Pew Research, but they just put it out again to make the conversation more viable, I guess. So it says, untangling the quote unquote male loneliness epidemic. Every time you see something in quotes, then that you might want to perk your antennas up and you may want to read a little bit further. Okay. So also, if you want to read the full report, you see right down here where it says full text links. There is 2 that are listed from Sage Journals and also another site. If you click the other site outside of Sage Journals, you will get the full text report where all of this came from, along with the Pew Research information that they actually did, took bits and pieces of it. But if you want to read the full report of Do We Become More Lonely with Age, a coordinated data analysis of 9 longitudinal studies published June 2024. So you guys can read that there. And this is from PubMed. So you put it up there, what the report actually says. And this is a quote. At the same time, research is pretty clear that we're all lonelier today than we were a decade ago. A Gallup survey last year discovered that men and women are equally lonely. Eileen Graham, associate professor of social sciences at Northwestern University, analyzed 9 longitudinal studies of loneliness and found that women self-report being lonely more than men. They conveniently leave out that part when they see these headlines, and it's specifically targeting men in a negative way. And for some odd reason, black men got entered into discussion, and I don't know why. Okay. And then another quote, it says, what the conversation about men seems to overlook is the fact that everyone, no matter how old you are or how you identify, is more isolated than they were a decade ago. It's not just a male loneliness epidemic, end quote. And I put at the bottom there, and no, black community, none of the male loneliness studies specifically highlight that black men are more or less lonely than other men. Your shaming tactics won't work here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that quick breakdown, and that debunks another failed attempt to shame black men for being single. That did not target black men specifically. They were just talking about everybody as a whole.